This is Optimal Living Daily, episode 1731, The Horrifying Potential of Potential by Greg Audino of gregaudino.com. And I'm your narrator, Justin Malik, reading you blogs every single day of the year to help you live a more meaningful life. We have 5 shows covering a wide range of topics. Today's author, Greg, is actually the host of 2 of our shows, Optimal Relationships Daily, and then Optimal Living Advice, where he answers your life questions. Check those shows out for a lot more from him. But for now, since you're here, let's get right to it as we optimize your life. The Horrifying Potential of Potential by Greg Audino of gregaudino.com. Though the constitutions of laziness and achievement can vary depending on where and when you are, one of the few themes that has remained intact from generation to generation and from place to place is that laziness is to be looked down upon while great achievements are to be celebrated. Laziness is the low road that anyone can take, and effort, often regardless of the outcome, is the high road that requires people to give themselves an extra push before setting foot. We see this every day, whether it be in the media, the workplace, or in our social lives. Those who are achieving the most receive the most accolades, attention, and seemingly the most respect. To everyone else, particularly those who really feel as though they are on the outside looking in, whether all of this validation is rooted in love or in envy isn't worth paying attention to. Even if you were paying attention to it from that angle, it probably still wouldn't matter because at the end of the day, the achievers seem to be fitting in with society a lot better than you are. It should come as no surprise then that everyone from all walks of life and with varying degrees of qualification encourage others to not waste their talents. They claim that unfulfilled potential is a terrible thing and that we should appreciate and utilize the gifts we're given, as there are gateways to becoming as valuable members of society as we can be. As is the case with most things people have their minds made up about, however, there is another side that is usually not considered. That is the fact that the talent unique to you comes with an experience that's unique to you. Because there's so much emphasis put on achievement, people often stop there and forget to look past that achievement and towards the person achieving it. We're prone to hearing more about what they've done than about who they are. High achievers can be on top of the world one day and completely forgotten about as soon as they're no longer performing at the same level and with little regard to why. Though they're never associated with one another, rest assured there's a great connection between the ominous 2 warnings, don't waste your talent, and just because you can do something doesn't mean that you should. The parallel proves itself relevant for many people, whether they're in for a rude awakening that they don't yet know about, or whether their talent has already consumed them and they're too frightened to seek a way out of it. What does this look like? Well, it usually starts with the realization that our time here is limited and that it's of utmost importance to fill that time wisely. Person A, let's say she's a wildly successful figure skater, realizes this. But pump your brakes. Remember, more important than being a wildly successful figure skater, she's Person A. She has a name, and her experience from skating isn't what you envision it to be. It's something that she's been pressured into by her parents since she was a little girl, and something she never really had a choice in. It's consumed her life, and now that she's old enough to make her own decisions, she finds that her talent is a waste of time because she never really enjoyed it in the first place. She instead chooses to pursue something else that she's always been curious about. Would it have been better for her to stick with the skating even though it made her miserable? Was doing away with her talent not a healthy choice? Or what about Person B, who, after being Person B, is a gifted singer? He too has an amazing talent and has found great success, except it's come at a price. As his smile fades and his skin hangs a little bit more upon the receipt of each award, he finds that his devotion to his talent has taken away from other things he wanted to do with his life, and that he has become devoid of family, genuine friendships, or physical feats he's now incapable of doing. It's been a life unshared with other people or other endeavors. His talent swallowed him whole, and at some point became too big for him to reconsider. Should he have not put his talent to the side, at least for a little while? Then you've got Person C. She knows she can play professional basketball, and she dreams of that lifestyle every day. But if she's going to hate everything besides the end result, if she's going to hate the daily practice, the travel, the time away from family, the inability to play other sports because she might get hurt, the commission she has to pay her agent, the cattiness from her teammates, the cheap shots from opponents, Why would she possibly not waste that talent and do something else? It doesn't make sense. Look first at the person, not the talent. You may be in a similar situation. The idea of your potential and what kind of life can come from maximizing it may have gotten to a point where it's counteractive to your well-being. Maybe the pressures induced by your own version of achievement or the thoughts you imagine society is thinking about you has left you afraid of the uncertainty of trying something new. Sticking to your talent might feel like your only chance. Well, fear not. We forget that we're already wasting our talent on an everyday basis, and that's because of two things you don't know. Well, there's a lot more than two things you don't know, but two that relate to this scenario. The first thing is that you don't know what else you're talented at. You have no idea. Every day there's a trillion billion things you're choosing not to do that you might be amazing at. You think all the people celebrated for being at the top of their industries are genetically the most capable group? The odds of that are impossibly small. I've never gone cross-country skiing a day in my life, but if I put the time and effort in, I might have the potential to be the greatest cross-country skier that ever lived, and I'll never fucking know it. This goes for anything. These top performers have gotten to where they are more because of their choices than because of their natural gifts, and that's fine. We can't attempt everything, and that reality means we're wasting our talent for every single thing we don't try. And the second thing you don't know, which compounds that first aforementioned thing, is what's going to be the right path to take for your health, your happiness, your fulfillment, everything. This is the unknown that resides over all things in life. You don't know what will happen from one day to the next, and trying to manipulate that truth by utilizing your talents in search of a lifestyle payoff rather than because they bring you legitimate joy is only going to end up in disaster. You just listened to the post titled The Horrifying Potential of Potential by Greg Audino of gregaudino.com. And again, if you want to hear more from Greg, he's the host of two of our shows, Optimal Relationships Daily and Optimal Living Advice. He's a life coach and answers your questions on that show. If you want to send in a question, you can email advice@oldpodcast.com and he'll likely answer it for you on the show. But that'll do it for today. Have a great day, a great weekend if you're listening in real time, and a long weekend here in the US. And I'll see you tomorrow for Minimalist Monday and Labor Day, where your optimal life awaits.